Hey y'all, it's racing day, so loud out here I can't hear a thing. Man, the fans are going wild. And these drivers came to rock, and no place else but Fox knows how to do it NASCAR style.
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys!
Hey now, here we go, race day. Don't you be going slow. Keep that pedal down on the floor. Push it till the crowd can't take no more. Then hey, since the flag came down, be here till the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways. Hey, since the flag came down, be here till the last lap around. Worked all week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways.
Hello everybody and welcome to beautiful Fontana, California, where Auto Club Speedway is still standing here for race number 7 of 18 for the LIMECAR SimRacing Challenge, and it's race 2 of the in-season tournament. Inside the booth alongside of me, welcome back from Las Vegas, we're returning Johnny Adelaide to the mic. Johnny, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Good to be out here in California. Sunny weather, always nice.
Absolutely. It was a beautiful day earlier today, but we are under the lights as we should be here at this 2-mile speedway for round 2 of the in-season tournament. We're going to take a look at our matchups for tonight. Yuko versus Green, Barone versus Collier, Giffen versus Lilly, Fastnot versus Gralla, Marnell versus Haley, Guthrie versus Gordoff, Navy versus Madrick, Cook versus Walker. That's the first page. We're going to cycle on to the second page. The winners of their individual matchups will go on to round 3 at Bristol. Everybody's involved now. The intensity is ramped up, and honestly, Johnny, it's going to be really interesting here tonight. We have a lot of players up front that normally don't qualify up front because of the intensity of this race.
Yeah, for sure. The in-season tournament, I think, is a great addition this year to LIMECAR, and these drivers are clearly like it. So.
Absolutely. I mean, one of these guys we really haven't seen up front much. Ethan Harrison is sitting on that front row. We're going to jump on to our race facts. 50 laps at this 2-mile track, wide sweeping corners. Johnny, why don't you go into a little bit about what we'll see later tonight?
Yeah, so we're going to see fuel runs of 17 to 20 laps. The tires can last longer, so maybe early on with some two tire stops. There's a big bump coming out of turn 4 here in Auto Club, and that makes a car upset, and that'll be something to look out for. I feel like every time I'm in the booth, there's something wrong in turn 4.
Sounds good. Well, row 1 sees Robbie Gordoff and Ethan Harrison. We're going to go through our starting lineup. Row 2, Ricardo Garcia and Richard Fridge. Row 3, Ian McDaniel and Aaron Giffen, hometown kid. Row 4 sees Jerry Chen and Strokey Banger. Row 5 is going to have Desquarius Greenhouse Jr. and Logan Williams in the 17, Justin Haley and Santiago Nicholas. Haley, the only driver with real-life experience here. Everybody else has raced here previously. Nicholas Soa, Kaz Brala in row 7. Row 8, Garrett Lamar and Anthony Foss. Row 9 has Austin Green and Henry Guo. And then row number 10, Chris Lilly and Zachary Pons. Moving on towards the second half of the field, Christopher Marnell and Nathan Stapleton is row number 11. Row 12 is going to have Ryan Barone and Cam Arrow. Christian Visconti and Hunter Collier see up row 13. Row number 14 plays host to 2 Toyotas, Reed Simpson and Chase Gibbons. Alexander Rowe and Brayson Collins, 2 Chevrolets, sitting in row 15. Row 16 sees Braden Sigafos and Matthew Fastnot. You see the bumps on the back straightaway as the cars go over them at pace speed. Quentin Haley, Kyle Mabey, row 17. Row 18, Joe Kraus and Norris Cole. Final 3 rows here, Blake Walker and Eris Yuko sees the third to last row. Tyler Cook and Cam Wright Jr. in row 20. And rounding out today's field, Michael Guthrie and George Madrick. Any final words before we get set to go green as they pass over that big bump in turn 4 you just mentioned?
Well, I hope everybody has fun. It'll be a good race out here today.
Auto Club, green flag is out. We're off and away. We're sailing into turn 1 as Gordoff sweeps high, weaves low. Ricardo Garcia look to the inside. We're going to go 3, 4, maybe even 5 wide into turn 1 as it's Ethan Harrison who takes the lead into turn number 1.
Yeah, and keep in mind, they can go up to 5 wide in the corners. I don't know if any will be this aggressive this early on, but with an in-season tournament, you never know.
Well, they're 4 wide down this back straightaway, bumping over the curbs, or bumping over the backstretch at over 200 miles an hour. They're going to reach up to 210 down the front straightaway and top out at about 202, 203 down the backstretch as we have a battle for the lead up front. Ethan Harrison takes lap number 1 and leads him into turn 2 on lap 2.
It was 4 wide for the lead. At one point, you got the C cars backing out of it. Jerry Chen in the 37 thought better of it, backed out, and now up front is the 77.
On board with Robbie Gordoff here. He's sitting in the middle of 3 wide. We're going to go on board with him through this corner. We're going to really see how this bump affects the drivers on that bottom lane as the 84 of Sturkey Banger really has to let out of the gas to get through that bump. It's definitely going to shake some things up. I wonder if drivers are going to try to avoid it because you want to run a similar line through 1 and 2 as you do 3 and 4. But you're going to have to try to pivot your exit a little better if you want to avoid it.
Yeah, for sure. If you go on the bottom lines in 3 or 4, there's a big bump that I talked about earlier. You're going to be forced to basically back out, and that's going to cost you a lot of time, a lot of momentum. We saw that on lap 1, we saw it again on lap 2, but looks like everything off through here fine for this lap.
Actually, I was about to mention Richard Fridge, who got really squirrely. He actually let up to try to get into the lane McDaniel was in, which put some tightness on the 6 and allowed the 77 to get a better run off of the corner and make the pass through 1 and 2. As the 6 of McDaniel and Garcia makes it 3 wide for first place going into turns 3 and 4. This is a Daytona 500 winner, or not the Daytona 500 winner, the 04 of Matthew Fastop, who won at the Roval. Sitting back there, big gaggle for around 30th right now.
It's interesting. You typically don't see guys that far back this early on in the race being in this tight, this aggressive of a formation 4 wide into the corners. But again, we always talk about this. The in-season tournament, I think a lot of these drivers are really trying to best out. There's one person that they're racing against, really. So every spot counts.
Henry Guo in the middle of 3 wide right here with Santiago Nicholas. He's the Daytona 500 winner. And the 60 of Hunter Collier. Collier was able to, he actually lost a little bit of ground on that top side, but was able to get the run, and he's going to swing to the bottom in turn 22. I think just seeing how these drivers are going to be able to capitalize these runs, using the top lane of 3 and 4 onto the bottom lane of 1 and 2, I think that's going to be the preferred lane, the preferred method to get around this 2-mile speedway.
Yeah, looks like it. 77 still out front. 6 of McDaniel closing in every lap, getting on the bumper, not quite being able to pass though.
Now, Ethan Harrison, we haven't heard too much from him this season. A few quotes here and there in the news stories, but other than that, really haven't seen much from him since his great run at Rockingham, coming from the middle of the field to a top 10 finish. Ethan has led 6 out of the first 7 laps here as a big run from Logan Williams and Ricardo Garcia into turns 3 and 4. McDaniel's going to have that high lane. I think he's going to have the advantage with, the 48's going to have to back out of it before that dip there. But Harrison, a pretty quiet season so far, and right now in the lead, and that's going to be playing dividends with his in-season tournament battle as he is going up against, funny enough, Ricardo Garcia in the 48. So I will say, it's not like Harrison has had a bad season so far. He's sitting in 3rd place in points right now. So very quiet, but very exceptional season for that 77 club.
Here comes the 27, Richard Fridge, trying to go for the lead. But see, he went on the bottom side there in turns 3 and 4 and just lost all that momentum. And that was 77. Ethan Harrison gets even bigger lead. 27 trying to not get swallowed up by his teammate in the 17 and Ian McDaniel in the 6.
Absolutely. As you see, Aaron Giffen up front, he started, I wouldn't say towards the back, but towards the second half of the field. He's sitting there in 5th. That's the first time he's cracked the top 5 today in that 62. Hometown kid, grew up coming to races around here. Quite a few hometown people here, but I would say everybody in LIMECAR and in racing has a special place in their heart for this track.
For sure. It's an amazing track, Shane. You don't see it in real life anymore.
There's a 27 Fridge to the bottom. He's going to take the lead away from Harrison, the first person to take it away since Ian McDaniel on lap number 4. Richard Fridge.
He makes a pass in turns 1 and 2. I think that's where you're going to have to pass if you want to try to make a mistake.
Absolutely. Or at the very least, command your position to make a move through there. Like, you can get a run out of 3 and 4, and I think the front stretch is long and sweeping enough to where if you command your momentum, you can get alongside somebody as, oh, trouble for Jerry Chen and Aaron Giffen.
Man, he was running so well, too.
It was 4 wide into turn 1, and the caution comes out on lap 11 of 50. And it's the 27 of Fridge. He's going to lead us back to the yellow. The 17 is able to make the pass on Ethan Harrison, so it's a DAF Racing 1-2, but unfortunately, the driver that was up front with them is involved in our first yellow. 2-car incident, it seems like. Let's take a look and see what happened at the replay from our helicopter cam.
See, you can go 5 wide into these corners, but in this scenario, it looks like 62 and the 37, it was just not, they were trying to go into the same lane here.
Yeah, let's try to get a better angle of it. So everybody squeezes up coming into turn 1 so they can get an arced better run. It's like Jerry just cleared himself on the 62. The 62 was ripping that wall.
Yeah, for sure. We see the 62 of Aaron Giffen. He was in that line. I think you can blame this on an inexperience in the driver in the 37. Maybe didn't know that he was up there or thought he had more room, but drove both of them into the wall.
Absolutely. As we're going to see, looks like everybody's going to come down pit road. You mentioned earlier, Johnny, that 2 tire stops could be the play here early on in the race. If you're sitting up on the box, I mean, what are you telling your driver? What are you guys going to be doing?
Yeah, it's interesting because the tires can last way longer than they are right now. I would actually go for 2 here, especially with that bump in turn 4. I expect we'll see more yellow flags. Going for 2 now and then waiting for a yellow flag later down to get 4 tires and fuel. That might be the best way to do it. And I think a lot of people are doing that strategy, so might be a little shake-up in how they come out of pit road.
Looks like a lot of right-side tires being taken on pit road. Some people going for 4 tires, but I think track position is critical here, especially with these single-file restarts. We're going to be restarting on lap 16 of 50 here. It's going to be Fridge, Harrison, McDaniel, Santiago Nicholas, and Soa. The 17 of Logan Williams, he's the driver that did take 4 tires. As green flag is back out, we're back underway here at Auto Club. Not getting too strung out so far, but single file through the first few people. But I can imagine we're going to hit that back straightaway and people are going to fan out.
There they go now.
Bridge keeps the lead. McDaniel coming along on the inside here. As there's the 17 of Logan Williams. Lost 12 spots on that initial round of pit stops. Filled it with 4 tires and packed it full of fuel. I don't know, if you see yellows later on, you have to stop twice here. There's no way that you can get around only doing 1 stop here, even with a bunch of yellows. Maybe he could be in the winning strategy. That 17 taking 4 tires, maybe extending the length of their tire run later in the race. Who knows? Could be a strategy for him to go on board with Henry well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with the call for the 17th crew chief there, mainly because now you're putting a driver back in the middle of the field. That incident that just happened earlier shows you that, even with a wide track like this, there's a lot of places that drivers can mess up. I wonder if you're putting a driver in the middle of danger now. If the 17 gets involved in an incident later on, that'll be very unfortunate.
To on board with one of our Chevrolet development cars. There's Nicholas Soa in the 08. We were 3 wide for first place for a little bit. I don't think I sounded as excited as I should have been there. Soa gets way squirrely out of there, and so did Robbie Gordoff. As Fridge is able to keep the lead, he's now under fire for second place. The 08 is with Ethan Harrison. Looking on the inside. Don't count out that 6, though. He could get a run out of this corner, too.
Yeah, Ian McDaniel constantly, maybe not leading the race every lap, but making his position known every lap, trying to make moves, and he's going to try to pass 2 cars at once. I don't know if that'll work out for him, as he kind of fades a little bit going into turn 4. Oh, wait.
Nicholas, oh, big trouble coming out of the corner. Looks like that's the 97, the 46, the 47. Oh, man. Caution is out here on lap 20 of 50, and into the wall goes Henry Guo again. As we have someone taking a gamble on pit road. Blake Walker was able to skimmy on down pit road before the yellow came out. As we're going to race on back. Soa in the 08. Looking on the inside, the 27 is going to get the run off the corner, and Bridge is going to lead us back to the caution.
We see a DAF car leading, 2 DAF cars involved in accidents. The 17, that's the last DAF car, making at least an interesting, to say the least, pit choices. So,
yeah, certainly a tale of 2 cities here at DAF Racing. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Marone just runs into a much slower Austin Green, and everybody just stacks up behind him. Man.
A lot of these drivers are involved in this accident. They're just wrong place, wrong time. Started off as a pretty simple 2-car accident. Not quite sure what happened here, but Austin Green gets plowed into. And as they come spinning down the front stretch, a lot of drivers aren't able to avoid them. You see the likes of Henry Guo, Daytona 500 winner. That's the end of... Oh, maybe not the end of... Well, I don't really know how to explain what happened to Henry there after the accident. We're on board with him now as he's coming down the front stretch. Just smooth. Nowhere for him to go.
It looks like the way the car's driving, that's a broken toe link, because he just aims right towards the wall without even really any control over his vehicle. So we're going to see everybody but... strategy plays at play. It looks like that's the 53 and the 23 staying out. They're on the lead lap. Blake Walker did get trapped 1 lap down, unfortunately. So it looks like he's going to try to get the wave around. But Desquarius Greenhouse Jr. and Christopher Marnell taking a gamble here. Only 2 drivers that stayed out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. That wasn't that long of a run before the caution came out. I don't really know what these teams were thinking. It looks like right side tires for a lot of these drivers. We'll see if they go and do 4. Looks like more 4-tire stops this time around. But, I mean, yeah, this might be a pretty good point to hit reset, get a new set of tires, get some fuel in, and just call this your first stop of the day.
Absolutely. Hunter Collier is able to win the race off pit road. He took 2 tires and fuel once again. As Desquarius Greenhouse Jr., Christopher Marnell, they are 1-2. They stayed out. Ryan Barone, Austin Green, and Henry Guo have taken their efforts to the garage. As Jerry Chen, Aaron Giffen, Quentin Haley, Joe Cross, and Kyle Mabey were also involved in the incident. But they are able to still keep going, still a little bit of damage. I mean, the 62 and the 37 were involved in the prior incident. So Unsure why they were listed on the manifest there, but nevertheless, we are going back racing here on lap 25 of 50, just about halfway here in the Auto Club 400.
New leader. For now, at least, the Squarius Greenhouse Jr., but here comes the 23 car.
Martinel's able to clear Squarius Greenhouse Jr. here. We're going to see how these older tires are able to really stack up against these guys that got 2 tires, some guys that got 4 tires. Certainly going to be interesting to see how they square up, but it looks like the 53 and the 23 are able to confidently maintain their 1-2. In fact, Squarius Greenhouse Jr. wants that lead back here on lap 26 of 50. Into turn 1 they go.
Looks like he'll get it for now. Let's see if he'll slide up. He does, the Squarius Greenhouse Jr., but Marnell immediately crosses over, trying to take the lead back in turns 3 and 4.
Back to the inside goes the Irishman as the 23 is going to try to take the lead away from the 53. Here comes the 60 and the 08. The 23 hits the bump. We're going to keep on going here as there's the 83 of Santiago Nicolas. Here's the 17 of Logan Williams. He's confidently in the mix now. He took 2 tires on that last stop. Unsure why. I think he could have really gotten away with taking 4 there. But that 17 car, he's packed it full of fuel. And he's going to make a move to the inside here. Maybe no. He looked like it for a second there for 4th place.
Yeah, so we see 2 DAF cars up front, 27-17. But there's a lot of people to got to battle with here. We see the 23 Christopher Marnell now with Hunter Collier taking a 3 wide for the lead now. Hunter Collier down in the bottom, and now in the middle. The Squarius Greenhouse Jr. says no thanks, backs out of it. And now Collier was going to try to take the lead from Marnell.
For the first time today, that's the 60 of Hunter Collier for the first time all season. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to it. The 23 is fighting back, and the 23 has the preferred lane on the outside line. That 60 gets a big arrow show from the 53. But the 53 way on the bottom there. He almost bottomed out as the 23 is able to retake the lead. And here comes the 27 of Richard Fridge, the 17 of Logan Williams. And who's this? The 03 of Kaz Gralla. I don't think we've seen Kaz Gralla up front all season. This 03 car is sitting in 5th place right now. On the backstretch here with the 08 and the 33 back up front. Marnell pretty confidently out front, but here comes the 27 of Richard Fridge. He took 4 tires on that last stop, by the way. This is why it seems like he's got a full head of steam. As Collier says no thank you. I want to get that 2nd place position back. That number 60 Fastenal car retakes 2nd place and takes Kaz Gralla alongside with him. So we got 4 wide back there. Settle out to 3 wide, but we had a little gaggle back there.
60 now. There's basically 5-car battle for the lead now. As they come out of turn 4, 60 still right on the tail of the 23. Marnell's got a lot of Hunter Collier in his mirror.
We got a lot of different strategies here. As we're going to take a quick note on Eris Yuko. He started way towards the back. He started on the 2nd to last row. That 54 car has made his way through the field slowly but surely, as has his teammate Michael Guthrie. Michael Guthrie actually, I want to say Michael Guthrie started on the back row, and he's sitting within the top 10. The 52 is Cam Wright Jr. as well. But these Tulsa Motorsports cars, they don't seem to have good qualifying speed, but in race trim, they know how to get it done.
Yeah, you can never count them out of any race. I actually didn't know where Eris Yuko was. I've been looking for an anime car all day, using that beautiful NYPD Foundation car. But he's making his way back up front, as seemingly all these Tulsa Motorsports cars always do.
These Fords, most of the season with Tulsa Motorsports and Bones Motorsports, these Fords like to have a lot of generated runs where they like to build their momentum, their speed throughout a race to where you'll see them towards the end of the race, but at the beginning, maybe not so much. Ian McDaniel has been really the lone outlier for that, as McDaniel was up front relatively early at a lot of the intermediates at Atlanta, at Las Vegas, and at Charlotte. And we saw that earlier today, too. McDaniel was up front. He was one of the lone Fords up front earlier. Has fallen a little bit backwards due to strategy, but now his teammate, Hunter Collier, a rookie, sitting well within that top 5, as it looks like the strategy calls are coming down for the 23 and the 53. They're going to come down pit road. They can make it from here. So this is a very interesting note. They can make it from here. It just has to fall into their cards. If everybody else pits, if we stay green, I think the 23 and 53 are going to be looking good.
Yeah, for now, the 27 assumes the lead.
That's the 17 of Logan Williams. He's right behind him. Logan Williams making a charge back to the field. I think he's going to have to pit here soon, and he does. That's another strategy call. Start pitting it. He saw the 53 and 23 pitting, and he said, I know I can make it from here. So he's going to come down pit road, packed full of fuel, and get on with it. The battle for the lead hasn't cooled down. The 60, make sure that it stays on the burner, instead of fighting alongside Richard Fridge.
Richard Collier, Richard Fridge, side by side now. Going to turns 3 and 4, we do have Serge on the high line that you want to be at, but let's see if Hunter Collier can make something work on the low line. He can't, and he kind of backs Nicholas Sowa back up as well.
There's a 4-wide battle for 4th here. Zachary Ponce is able to crack the top 5 for the first time today. Strokey Banger in the 84. He's been a good story here as the yellow flag comes out. Oh, big crash. That's Ian McDaniel. The 13 of Garrett Lamar, the 33, and other Joe Kraus is able to sneak through. Oh, maybe no. Big yellow here on lap 36 of 50. It looks like we're all done with wrecking for the most part. Big damage for that 6er. Oh, more wrecking, the 5. That's Brayson Collins. And the 43 of Tyler Cook. Oh, man. Big wreck here in turn 1. As the yellow flag comes out, Richard Fridge has taken them back to the pace car.
Tyson, I don't know. Is this going to mess up some strategy?
I think this traps the 53 and 23. Oh, man, the 6 just gets hooked on the front straightaway. And that's a rough blow for the 6 of Ian McDaniel, who's had such a strong day.
That's a lot of cars involved in this accident, and
that was who was that? That looked like it was Chris Lilly in the 1 who smacked the front end of pit road.
It looks like 2 separate incidents here, both taking out a fair bunch of cars. It started with it looks like the 33 and the 6. That's a weird looking incident, at least.
So it looks like the 5 of Brayson Collins did get clipped already. He's slowing down, and then the 1 clips the front of that pit road wall, and nothing Brayson Collins could do. And bang, right into the 5 goes the 43, getting spun like a Beyblade on the front straightaway. Right as we were talking about pit road strategy, we flipped the cameras to see Ian McDaniel getting turned like a Beyblade on the front straightaway. So
at my count, there's 2 CRT cars involved in this incident. And did Christopher Marnell get trapped a lap down? That's a question.
I believe he did. The 23 and the 53 got trapped a lap down, as well as the 88 of Blake Walker, who came down pit road. But the 17 of Logan Williams did not get trapped a lap down.
That's a really lucky break for the 17 there, but also a really rough 30 seconds for Crisis Motorsports. Crisis Racing Team? Sorry.
Yep, Crisis Racing Team. As the 17 zooms around, the 60 of Hunter Collier wins the race off pit road, and the 17 of Logan Williams is going to be second. So, Brayson Collins, Tyler Cook, Robbie Gordoff, Joe Kraus, Garrett Lamar, Chris Lilly, all out of the race. McDaniel, Simpson, Told, Haley, and Harrison able to keep going. Rough blow for Ethan Harrison, who was having such a strong day. A lot of laps led. The 53 of Destorius Greenhouse Jr. is not a lap down, but he is slated in front of the leaders to try to keep his lap. Green flag is back out here on lap 40 of 50. 11 laps to go here at Auto Club Speedway, and the 17 of Logan Williams in the catbird seat in the strategy call.
I stand corrected. Maybe he did take a strategy call, taking 4 in that first pit stops right there, but Hunter Collier now in the lead, and they're wrecking again.
This 10 looks like that was the 10 of Braden Sigafos. I think he got tagged by Justin Haley. He stayed green. They were able to save it. The 53 of Destorius Greenhouse Jr. trying to win his lap back the hard way. The 60 of Hunter Collier out in front with 10 laps to go. With the 53 out in front, this would put the lucky dog. This would give the lucky dog back to Christopher Marnell. So Marnell's best friend is Destorius Greenhouse Jr. and to stay out in front of the 60 car.
Meanwhile, the 60 is definitely unhappy that 53 is trying to do anything with it at all. I mean, he's got pressure from behind, and he's also got pressure from in front with Destorius Greenhouse Jr. trying not to go a lap down. But let's see if Logan Williams can kind of take advantage of the lap car up front and get past Collier here. They're going 3 wide.
That's for 5th place as Jordan Madrid came down pit road for, looks like, fuel. They miscalculated on their fuel adjustment. He's going to go a lap down. Looks like Marnell's going to pass the 68, so Marnell still stays in the lucky dog position.
Logan Williams trying to
Logan Williams
now.
8 laps to go here at Auto Club. Plenty of time. 16 miles to go. That's Chase Gibbons of the 14 trying to win his little battle. The 51 of Michael Guthrie has had a strong day. The 52 of Cam Wright Jr. has had a strong day. Like we mentioned earlier, those Fords, they just find speed towards the later half of the race.
Never count out Esto for Motorsports.
And, oh! They squeeze together. That's Nicholas Soa and Michael Guthrie, and the caution's going to come out as the 51 is sideways on the front stretch.
I apologize to Aris Yuko and the entirety of the organization for jinxing that. I feel at least partly responsible for that.
Oh, the commentator's curse struck immediately. Let's take a look at this replay. I think it was pretty cut and dry. The 51 was going slow, tried to block the 08, and the 08 wasn't there.
Luckily, only one car, or I guess 2 cars, really involved in this accident. A lot of great misses by some of the drivers back in the field avoiding that 51 car.
Absolutely, and that's going to give us a clean restart here with, on lap 48, we're going to have 3 laps to go. Destorius Greenhouse Jr. got the wave around, back on the lead lap. Christopher Marnell got the lucky dog, back on the lead lap. We're going to be restarting here with 3 laps to go. 6 miles to settle it here, Johnny. Green flag is coming. We're back underway here at Auto Club. Hunter Collier, Logan Williams, Zachary Potts. Chase Gibbons is up to 4th. We haven't heard much from him all day. We could have some spoiler winners here, but it's the 60 leading him to turn 1.
17 contemplating whether he wants to make a move or not. 60 doing a great job defending.
Here comes Chase Gibbons on the bottom lane. Now, Johnny, if I'm sitting in 2nd place, when am I making my move? When am I trying to get the lead?
Approximately right now, but Logan Williams got his hands full right now, especially with Chase Gibbons down on his inside. Coming out of turns 3 and 4, he stays in the high line. Now here comes the Cheez-It car.
That's Zachary Ponce in the 16. 2 laps to go here. The 17 under fire for 2nd place. Hunter Collier all but walking away. We've got 5 wide for 9th place with Strokey Banger. Ricardo Garcia, this could be dangerous with Ricardo Garcia in the mix. He's been trying to keep his nose clean here for a little bit, but we stay green. 2 wide here for 2nd place. It's the 17 and the 16 as Logan Williams is trying to stay out in front. Here we got 5 wide for 2nd place. It's the 29 of Cam Arrow looking towards the bottom lane, coming to 1 lap to go. One final time around Auto Club here for the Auto Club 400. Here comes Logan Williams. He's got the inside of Hunter Collier.
Finally got around, and he's going to try to go for that lead into turns 1 and 2.
Could he clear him? And he does. The 53 of Disquarius Greenhouse Jr. has pitted. Here's the 60 of Hunter Collier coming back to the inside. Side by side. Through 3 and 4, the 60. Is he going to manage the bump? And he doesn't. He slides up. He washes away. Logan Williams. The strategy call works. The 17 is going to take the win.
Man, that was a great victory. Last lap pass for that 17 car, but man, my heart breaks for Hunter Collier. Ran a great race all day up front, but just couldn't quite hold off Logan Williams in a 17 car.
That 17 is been lights out. This is his 2nd win on the season for Logan Williams, and he's going to take home the victory in his in-season tournament battle. Burn it down, Logan, for his 2nd victory of the season. The first 2-time winner this year, as he's going to slide across that front stretch grass. Bouncing off that wall. Very interesting here. A little bit of trickery.
Looks like he's trying to bring it to victory lane through nothing but the burnouts.
I respect the hustle. As we're going to take a look at our official results. Logan Williams, Zachary Ponce, Hunter Collier, Kaz Gralla, Strokey Banger, Chase Gibbons, Cam Wright, Cam Arrow, Ricardo Garcia, and Anthony Foss round out your top 10. Take a look on through 11th through 22nd. Some good runs here. A top 20 for Nathan Stapleton and Braden Sigafos. All 3 of the Chevrolet development cars that are new finishing inside the top 20. Eris Yuko with the top 15. Alexander Rowe with the top 15. Richard Fridge able to scrap back for a top 15. As we'll scroll on through the rankings so far. Christopher Ronell able to scramble together a top 25 after the strategy call that unfortunately didn't go his way. And we've got quite a few lapped cars and the rest of our drivers. 31st on back, finished out of the race due to an accident. That's going to shake up a little bit of our order for sure. Definitely going to be something to make note of as we'll look at our in-season tournament matchups, seeing who is able to take home the victory in their matchups. I mean, we had 16 battles going on track, and I mean, it's very hard to keep track of all of them. The drivers certainly were keeping track of them. So here's the first round. Eris Yuko advances over Austin Green. Hunter Collier, with a great run, is able to take home his victory. Aaron Giffen is able to sneak out in front of Chris Lilly. Kaz Gralla, with his first really good run of the season, able to get his win. Marnell sneaks it over Haley. Michael Guthrie, a good run, maybe. And Blake Walker. Those are your in-season tournament winners. As we'll go to our next ones. Henry Guo, unfortunately, one of the higher seeds, is getting knocked out. Justin Haley advances over him. Aquarius Greenhouse Jr., Strokey Banger comes home in front of it. Ricardo Garcia, what a surprise that is. Able to take home the victory over Ethan Harrison. Logan Williams with the win advances. And then Reed Simpson, Chase Gibbons, and Santiago Nicholas are able to win their individual matchups. Bristol's going to be round 3. Johnny, this is going to be something. We love Bristol. High intensity, we go from basically two polar opposites of tracks, from the 2 mile almost super speedway to the mile bull ring. This is gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. And these drivers, they're gonna be ready to fight, literally fight each other to move on to the next round. Some great matchups for Bristol.
Absolutely. I don't know if we'll see some fisticuffs action, but who knows? Maybe if someone dumps somebody for a win, maybe for a position. But as we look at the current point standings, Logan Williams and Eris Yuko tied up front, both with 247 points. Just a smidge above Santiago Nicholas with 240. Logan Williams, 2 wins on the year, gets the first place with the most wins. So that's the tiebreakers. Most wins, then it goes to most second place, most third place, etc. A lot of close, tight battles within the point standings. But as we take a look to the back half of it, there's a lot of guys down here that I didn't expect to see earlier on in this season. Jerry Chen, he's having a better run as of late. Ricardo Garcia sitting in 30th in points, not doing too hot. Richard Fridge, 28th. A lot of these guys back here have just been caught up in a lot of mistakes that really aren't their own fault. Joe Kraus, Austin Green, Christian Visconti, Quentin Haley. These guys, they've been having good runs, but they just seem to be caught up in something every week.
Yeah, for sure. It's a tough sport at the end of the day, and the people who do it, the people who are racing in LimeCar, are some of the best of the best. And unfortunately, even they will end up bottom of the points if the day doesn't go their way.
Absolutely. Well, it's getting ready for us to sign off here from Auto Club. Any final words before we sign off for the night?
Yeah, just a really, really good finish there. Congratulations to the 17 car. I know Dominic, I'll be happy that his team brings up another win. But yeah, a great race overall.
Absolutely. Well, from us here in the booth, we want to thank you for joining, and we will see you guys next week for round 3 of the in-season tournament at Bristol.